Okay, so have you ever played video games like GTA and every time you did not have enough money you were like, what if I tell you that you can cheat just like this in real life? Unfortunately, you cannot just type something on keyboard and $69 million of the United States will magically appear on your bank account, but if you're patient and focused enough, you're more than welcome to use money hacks. And here is exactly what you need to do. What's up, investors? It's the Russian dude, and today I'll show you exactly what needs to be done so you can use money hacks in real life. Watch this video all the way until the end, because this is a multi-step process and I sincerely don't want you to miss any of them. Spend literally less than 10 minutes watching this and change your life completely.
A small price to pay for salvation.
Alright, so the first step in this strategy is to start investing. And no matter how old or young you are at this very moment, every single person can and will benefit from this strategy. While some of you might think,
well, we already know that in order to be rich, we need to invest. I'ma close this video and not waste my time.
But what if I tell you that achieving great wealth is hard, but keeping and preserving this wealth is even harder?
That's what she said!
According to this article from the CNBC, more than 60% of NBA players go broke within just 5 years of departing from the league. And around 78% of former NFL players experience financial distress just 2 years after the retirement.
Mind-blowing.
And while so many people on YouTube teach you how to build your wealth, earn that passive income and save money, almost no one talks about protecting your capital. Imagine working your whole life, building a retirement portfolio and eventually reaching this magical 7 or 8 figure, just so that you can completely waste it 2 years into the retirement. I know how tempting it can be just to buy a beach house in Florida, couple of sports cars, maybe on a yacht, and then just to realize that you have no money left to sustain this way of living. And this is exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. How to preserve your wealth while still extracting money from it.
Yeah, boy.
While the end goal being spending less money than you're making. And believe me, it is quite possible. But before I present this money hack strategy to you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel so you won't lose it. As a beginner creator, your support means a lot to me. Thank you so much and let's continue. Okay, so ideally, you started investing in your 20s. We're not gonna talk about where to invest to become a millionaire in 1 year, and I'm 100% not selling you a course about Bitcoin binary options trading. There are hundreds of other YouTubers who will gladly sell you the course and make you lose money on these investments.
Right to jail, right away.
We all here are smart people who care about our own money, so let's keep it that way. Alright, so fast forward to the future where your portfolio reaches a certain amount. For so many people, this magical number is $1 million. And while this is a very good goal, you can and should aim higher. Because you know, $1 million was way more 30 years ago than it is right now. But for simplicity purposes, let's just stick with $1 million. It absolutely does not matter when you reach this goal, because this money hack strategy works for everyone. And basically, the sooner you can reach your goal, the sooner you'll be able to retire. And that's the only thing that matters for now. Alright, so we have our $1 million portfolio, and natural instincts immediately kick in, which is to buy things that we don't really need to impress people that we do not care about.
Wrong.
Instead, withdraw just a part of it, let's say so just 5%. And in this case, 5% of 1 million is $50,000. In addition, if your average portfolio dividend yield is around 2%, this means that you get additional $20,000, meaning that you have just received $70,000 to spend in 1 year. And you did not have to work at all to receive this money.
Don't ever play yourself. Don't ever play yourself. Don't ever play yourself. Don't ever play yourself.
And this is where magic happens. After withdrawing $50,000, we have $950,000 left. Let's assume we have an average annual growth of 8%, which means that by the end of the year our portfolio will grow by approximately $76,000, which turns our portfolio into $1,026,000. But wait a minute, how did this just happen? Didn't we just withdraw money, so why do we have now more money that we started with? And these are the questions that you might have after watching this part of the video.
Please call security.
And by the way, feel free to go back if you want to check if my math is correct. But now we have the haters who are about to say,
What about the taxes? In what kind of post-Soviet fairy tale do you live where you don't need to pay taxes?
And my answer would be rather simple. Invest through the Roth IRA if you're from the US or TFSA if you're from Canada. Long story short, these are tax-advantaged investing accounts that allow all the gains as well as dividends to be completely tax-free. Besides these options, there are many other tax-advantaged investing accounts that allow to grow your capital much faster while paying as little taxes as possible. And for reference, just take a look at 401k, traditional IRA or RRSP, the first two are from the US and the last one is from Canada. But some sophisticated haters might go even further.
Oh, why about the inflation? Why your portfolio grows 8%? Why you take no inflation into consideration?
And here is my response. Yes, the inflation exists, and that is why 8% is already inflation adjusted average return of the S&P 500 for the last century, which makes it pretty reliable benchmark. As you can see, the normal return is around 10%, while the average inflation is 2%, and this is where 8% comes from. Also, because we're talking about withdrawing money and portfolio growth within 1 year at later stages, technically inflation doesn't make a huge difference at this point. I also understand that 8% is very generalized and it is never guaranteed. Instead, some of the years you might only get, let's say, a couple % of return, while the next year the growth will be in double digits, but the third year you might even lose money.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
But if your risk tolerance is rather low or you just don't believe that the average return is around 8%, you can always switch to bonds. Which brings us to another fact, that the closer you get to the retirement, the bigger percentage allocation of bonds should be in your portfolio. While you're still young, you can take on bigger risks.
Stocks only go up.
Because in case your portfolio collapses, you will still have time to recover. But as you're about to retire, switch primarily to bonds. And you can either do a smooth transition where you sell, for example, 5% of your stocks and use this money to buy bonds, and by the way, you should do this every single year the closer you get to the retirement. Or you can sell entire portfolio and just buy bonds in one day, whatever works better for you. But personally, I think that the smoother transition works better. Successful investing is all about feeling comfortable and confident about where your money goes. And the reason behind switching to bonds is to simply protect what you have already accomplished. At first, you accumulate your wealth and then you preserve it, which is just one of the main reasons of this video, to show how to protect your capital. And the thing about this is that even though you're already preserving your wealth, you can still extract parts of it just to use this to cover your living expenses, while your assets will be still appreciating in value. And yes, investing in bonds might give you less returns, but this kind of investing is less risky and less volatile than regular stock investing. And if you're about to retire, you definitely cannot afford another 20% dip in the markets. And if you want to learn more about different investing account types mentioned in this video, such as Roth IRA, 401k, TFSA or RRSP and so on, feel free to check this short video that I made earlier just for you. Thank you so much, товарищ, for your attention. I will see you again on Friday, and don't forget to check my Friday after work livestream, where I'll be summarizing the main events of the world of investing and finance. And that's basically it.